Okay, boleh.
Okay. Good evening and Assalamualaikum, Mr. Hanif Miswan. Before we dive into this interview, let me introduce myself and my course partner. My name is Muhammad Adli bin Mamat and my course partner Ahmad Danial bin Azhar. We are from Bachelor of Public Relations with Contemporary Media, Semester 5. For your information, Mr. Hanif, basically in this assessment, we need to conduct an interview with a media practitioner to gain insight into crisis communication management. With this understanding by your perspective and experience of media professional is very essential for comprehending the dynamics and challenges in crisis communication. So next, a brief introduction for our professional panel today, Mr. Hanif Miswan. He is involved as one of the hosts Malaysia Hari Ini, MHI, announcer on Kool101my, commentator for MFL TV9, and is also associated with National Foot Golf Malaysia. I am confident that he is an experienced professional in the field of media and journalism. To start our interview today, could Mr. Hanif share a more little bit about your career as a professional TV host or in journalism? The floor is yours.
All right, thank you guys. Assalamualaikum. Very good evening. My name is Hanif Miswan. Thank you for having me. I've been in the industry for, I think this is my 8 years since 2015. So I started as a broadcast journalist for TV3, one of the sports program. We call it back then as Scoreboard TV3. It is a sport program, so I started as a broadcast journalist. As a journalist, of course, we need to go on field, we need to go to do entertainment, to do the stories about football, especially, and about the sports. And then I developed my career as a TV host for that program, for sports program, and also for the live program for football event and sports event for TV3, Media Prima as a whole. And then I got offered to be one of the hosts for one of the legendary morning TV show in TV3 for Malaysia Hari Ini. Starting in 2017, I became their host, one of the hosts, alongside many familiar names as Ali Iskandar, Petri Yahya, Fariha On, and the rest. So that is how my career developed, and then I get to be many TV hosts as well at Media Prima program. And then I became one of the producer for Didik TV. And by 2022, last year, I got offered to be as one of the announcer for Kool101. That is also one of the TV radio station under the umbrella of Media Prima. So I do many things. I also do sports commentator for Malaysian Football League. I also play represent Malaysia for Foot Golf International Tournament World Cup held at Orlando, United States of America in 2023. So yes, of course, I have various experience in the industry for now.
I see it's a very interesting career as you have right now. Okay, we are going to jump into the crisis management question.
Right.
We believe that Mr. Hanif Miswan was faced many crisis management during crisis happen. For the first question, I'd like to hear about your experience in dealing with the crisis, such as the one we went through with the COVID-19 pandemic. Can you share a bit about your experience reporting on that crisis?
All right. That was the very first time, I think, for our era we faced pandemic COVID-19. Your first time, my first time, and many people for the first time. So I think it changed a landscape of media industry during that tough time lah. So one of my, I think, challenging experience during the crisis is that doing Malaysia Hari Ini is a everyday program, so we need to go live every day. So when there is a restriction on movement, we cannot go simply to go coverage. So what we do in handling that crisis, when we do the TV show or live program, we divided our team into 3 teams, team A, B, and C. So that if team A is down with the infection, we still have a backup team B and C. If one more team need to be quarantined, so we have another team. So that is not a usual practice. It is only a practice during the pandemic. It's very different. It's very challenging, and I got to experience one interview with medical practice at the field, at the hospital, at the red zone. So yeah, that's the crisis, and we need to rearrange our movement, rearrange our schedule, rearrange our setup. It's not like a usual setup. It's not like a usual interview. So sometimes we do this kind of interview also online instead of face-to-face. But during the tough time also, we also conduct a face-to-face interview with the PPE on, with the mask on. So it depends on the situation. So we need to readjust our tasks depending on the situation.
Okay, great. There's a very good experience for the Engineer Miswan itself. So it's hard for us as students, it's hard for you also as a media at that time pandemic situation. So we go to this next question is, what is your role when handling a crisis like that, especially when covering an organization involved in the crisis?
All right. The roles is I think the roles is to report on what is really happening. Doesn't matter on how we get to the location, or maybe during the crisis itself. I think we need to do our job. We need to report during the deadline. We need to report during whenever it takes or whatever it takes, as long as we could get the job done. And the roles is to make sure that during the crisis, of course, if we look at the pandemic situation, I think most of us would agree that we are one of the frontliners during the crisis as well, the media practitioners. So the risk to get the disease is very high and very comparable, unlike the others who just stay at home. So we make sure that we get the job done, we play our role well, and we make sure that we deliver whatever the information, so that the public can get the benefits, the information from us, as well as the organization that hire us. Maybe from, let's say, from the ministry, let's say from the government and the private agencies, they also want the media practitioners to do something for them. So we need to deliver whatever the information, whatever the job and tasks to be done on time, and of course we need to stay safe as well.
Thank you, Mr. Hanif. And next question, what about the challenges faced during crisis reporting, like facility-related issues or other challenges during coverage, or your question are being not answered properly?
All right. This one, I think I need to look back during 2016. I do most coverage on sports. So I manage, I have a privilege, since tomorrow is Harimau Malaya Malaysia versus Kyrgyzstan, right, for football. I have a privilege to cover national team back then in 2016 and 2017. So during that time, there is one coach, one national coach, just have a bad loss at the national level. Malaysia get thrashed like 10-2, 10-1, I think, to another team. And then when they get back here, I am among the very first journalists to get to interview him. And all of my answers, he did not, all of my questions, he did not answer. not a single answer, okay? Because maybe he gets so frustrated about the results and he think that media is just to make the situation worse. So although we have a good connection, although he know me, I know him because of the background as a media and coach relationship, but during the tough time, during the crisis like that, it happened. So we, the media practitioners, also didn't get any answers, didn't get any feedback from the coach because of the situation. So what we do, we text the coach back later, maybe during the midnight or maybe tomorrow. We explain to him that we need the answers from him. We explain to him that we need to do the interview. We explain that this is just part of our job, and your job as a coach are also to explain the situation to media. So after that, we arrange another interview session, and finally we get the question to be answered by the coach. So different situation might need different consideration for in my area of work and industries. I think maybe public just want the media to get the answers, but the public doesn't understand that sometimes the situation doesn't allow us to get the answers like what they want to hear. So we need to do our PR, we need to do our soft skill, the communication skill to get the answer. And yeah, that is one of my situation back then.
So yeah, still in this question, you say that you covered the game Malaysia versus Tajikistan. So are you covered the game Malaysia between India? I think that game is really tight too, because the decision of ref. I think did you cover that game too?
Yeah, of course, of course. I am at the stadium at the time, and of course, we can't let as a reporter, as a journalist, or a TV host, or a sports commentator. I think there is always a problem of biasness, media bias during the coverage, especially when we cover the national team. But the different thing is what was I being told by my senior, and I'm being taught by them, is we need to separate the what we call that the emotional things during our reporting. Of course, Malaysia won. Of course, India think that it is a very tight match. It is a very unprofessional by referee, whatever it is. But we need to report on whatever the match is shown us. So I think yeah, it's one of the crises. But I think we need to cover it as professional as we can.
Yeah, so understood. So in the experience that you have in the media, for the 8 years, I'm mistaken, 8 years in this field. So what is the most significant and the challenging challenge you believe that you have faced while handling a crisis? The most biggest crisis.
All right, I think because I do so many things in the industry, not only in sport, but also in general, I think the most challenging thing during my career, I have to give it during the COVID-19, because we can't do the standard practice that we are taught to. We can't do everything in a normal setting. We need to readjust. We need to, of course, we need to adjust for whatever it is, whatever task that being given. I need to do live from a pusat quarantine at Serdang, at Maib Serdang. So there is a different zone, the red zone, the yellow zone. I need to wear PPE just to do a live coverage there. I need to do some recording when I stand just like a couple of meters from people are infected. So that is something new. There was something new. There was different. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So we need to do it very careful. And believe me, there are a lot of reporters that don't want to go to the situation. They are very afraid of their condition. They are very afraid to get the infection. But just a few of us that willing to go. I willing to go because I want to get the experience. So I want to know what it is look like to get the interview at the location. So it is very different. That is the crisis. And Alhamdulillah, we managed to get it done.
Okay, thank you so much. And then the last question for this interview, could you provide the advice or tips for those working in the same field and are facing a various crisis? Can you?
All right. I think for every profession, there will always be a crisis. The crisis management is very important. To problem solving to get your job done. That's the first thing. But when you want to go into maybe a PR industry, a media industry, is very kind of related, right? Maybe the first thing that you need to know is to handle the situation, to get the problem solving method in various ways. You need to learn on how to handle situation A. You need to have a backup plan on situation B. You need to have a situation on plan C. Let's say if the plan A doesn't work, you go to plan B. Plan B doesn't work, you go to plan C. So all the crisis handling management all need to be done in your head already before you go to any assignment. And of course, please be more creative. Please be more persuasive in doing your job. Please don't be too comfortable in whatever the assignment, whatever the situation. And for the new era, for the new people, or maybe for the student as well, who want to go into the work industries later, please do something different according to your era. Never get satisfied with whatever it is done by the old people. As a new guy, as a new generation, please do something different. Please make the work better. Please get the solution better. And it is suitable with your age. It is suitable with your era. Don't go just satisfied with whatever that you see or whatever that people before you did that you didn't like. So you don't repeat the same mistake. Please get it done on your own way and be creative about it.
Okay, one more question about regarding that your crisis handling a COVID-19. You say that when the mates come, you mentioned that you do some practice. Okay, so the practice is are you learn that practice before you enter this field, or that practice just like, okay, COVID-19 come now, and then you just go on the field and practice just like that?
All right, that's a good question. I think it went back to what I said just now. The crisis handling management. We didn't get any practice. This is our first time, your first time, everybody first time in Malaysia to get the COVID-19 in the world during our generation. So we need to readjust back. We need to rethink back our strategy. We need to make it suitable during the condition. We need to make do on whatever the situation, the rules restricted by the government. So we need to readjust and we come with solution. So when you see situation A, you think that, okay, I want to do it this way. Is it okay? Is it applicable? Is it doesn't go against any rules by the government? And then that is your solution. So you need to be creative. You need to have situation handling management. So you will get it done with your creativity on your own way.
Okay, this is a last question for me. Okay, as we know that Encik Hanif Miswan is have many jobs like host MHI, host Malaysia Super League, and then I want to know that they invite you to their media, or you request some just like go interview, or they invite you to be the host?
Okay, at first 8 years back I went into audition with Media Prima to get the new host and TV commentator for sports. After that, they offered me to be the broadcast journalist. And then from there, in Media Prima, we have many opportunities. So I proven myself. So they saw something in me. They saw that maybe I have this talent. I can do this program. So I challenged myself to accept the challenge. And then I get to do everything that I do now. So it started with audition, and then when we proved ourselves, and then they offered to do it because they know we can do it. Yeah.
So yeah, Full Golf Malaysia, are you from the chat you play or when? Or what? That you can play for Malaysian team. It's really nice. I want to know that you just go to play foot golf or you're already talented for the chat.
It also happened. It's also happened during the pandemic because we cannot play football. So happened to be foot golf is just nearby. So I just play for fun at first, and then happened to be I'm good. I'm good at foot golf. Always win. And then we form a team for Malaysia team to participate in World Cup for the very first time, 2023 at Orlando. So we went there with 16 players in men's open. So we managed to qualify until the quarterfinal. We were beaten by Spain team during the quarterfinal. They are the European champion. So yeah, that's the first time. And until now, I'm still one of the players for Malaysia national team. So the next target is next year for the Asia Cup. We hope to win it because we need to beat Japan. But Japan is also a good team. So yeah, like what I said, if you want something, if you like something or you're good at something, just go for it. Be very good at it, and then the opportunity will come. You just doesn't know when the opportunity come, grab it, and you will see how far it will bring you wherever you want. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Hanif Miswan. Very grateful today having you today. You're very experienced person that we interview. So thanks again for sharing your valuable insight. We hope your experience will inspire both those in our field and us. Once again, a big thank you to Mr. Hanif for accepting our invitation for this interview. Considering your current commitment, we understand your time is limited. With your insight, we will successfully complete our coursework. Thank you again, Mr. Hanif, and until we meet again.
Thank you.